Hey y'all, long time no live. I am recording this what's been up live because I want to start doing this more. I've only did one before. It was like a car chit chat where I like gave updates and things. And a community post is cool, but being able to like talk to y'all to be able to like look into my eyes and hear the cadence of my voice so that you really get an understanding of like what I'm communicating versus just reading some text on the screen. I think it's a little bit better. I am going to be getting back to doing more regular lives. As some of y'all might know, I was sick recently. So that is a big portion of why there has been a slowdown in content on my channel recently. But if I'm honest, there has also just been some other factors at play. And I said, you know what? You don't have to deal with things by yourself. You don't have to just like hold certain things and only present as perfect of a face as possible, no problems, no issues. You can actually talk to your community and your people because you are building a really dope community of just really phenomenal people who get it, who are, really great humans who are living their lives as well. So they're going to understand. Thank you, Perspective Plans. I appreciate your chat. So this is going to be a super chill video. It's going to be a quick live. So I'm hoping I can get in and get out in less than 30 minutes and just say what I want to say. At the end, I will answer any questions that people have. So if you are tuning in live, then you can just drop your question in the chat and I will answer that towards the end. If you're catching this as a replay, drop your question in the comment section and I will definitely answer. And shout out to everybody coming in. I was like, should I record this and just post it? I'm like, no, go live because you haven't been live with your people. Hey, Katie, welcome in. Hey, well, 46. Okay, so what's been up? This is volume 2 because I haven't done this since I did volume 1. And moving forward, I will do more of these and I'll just keep the keep the number going. So next one will be volume 3. Major question, why haven't I been posting? One reason is because, and I hope y'all can hear me well, because I didn't test anything, but I think y'all can. Let me actually, before I really get into this, because Lord, I would hate to record a whole bunch of this and y'all actually can't hear me, because y'all know I be doing goofy stuff like that. Let me just check real quick, babes. Okay, great. Thanks for y'all's patience. Why haven't I been posting? One reason, I was sick. I got sick about a week and a half ago out of nowhere. I thought it was COVID. I kept testing. It wasn't COVID. I had a fever. I typically don't get sick, but I got sick randomly and I wasn't really worried until I got a fever. And that really just scared the hell out of me. And that's what made me think like, yo, maybe it's COVID. But again, I tested all throughout the time that I was sick and it wasn't COVID. Right now, I'm still dealing with a little bit of cold in my throat and in my nose. I don't think that it was allergies. I still don't know exactly what it was, but I haven't had a fever in over a week. I do feel better. Like, basically, my symptoms were I had a fever. I wasn't coughing pretty much at all, but I did have a bunch of mucus that was building up. And then I had no energy at all. And I was very, very weak. So like I couldn't like lift things and like it was hard to like move around and do stuff. So I literally just stop posting, stop doing much of anything. For the first few days of it, I wasn't even really watching anything. Like towards the end, I actually started to feel better. Once my fever broke, I was like, okay, I'm good. And y'all, I went outside. I started to try to work out again. I was just doing all these things. And then the very next day, it like came back full force. And my mom was like, girl, this is the problem with us. You gotta like see this all the way through. You gotta rest this all the way out. You gotta continue to hydrate. You gotta do all of the things to make sure that you're really well and not just when you feel a little bit better to get out here and then make it worse for yourself. So that's why I hadn't been posting for like almost a week and a half. I think I did get up the Zatima post because those for the most part were very, very easy for me towards that time, but I didn't post anything else, and it was because like I tried to come back a little bit too soon and it just made everything worse, and I really just didn't have the energy to. um but in looking back at that time and like literally pretty much not doing anything. I'm really glad that I did do that. I'm glad that I did stop posting. Even it got to a point because I updated y'all on social media like, hey, I won't be posting because I'm sick. And I was still trying to like keep people updated on social and like on my stories. But the moment that I got like basically like re-sick or it came back full force, then it was like a weeks of time where I really didn't post on social either. Cause I'm like, no, like detach completely, like focus on getting better and like let that be that. Now, that is what happened like 50,000 foot view most recently. However, if you go back over my channel in the last month, the last 2 months, there are times where I've had spurts of like, oh, I'm dropping a video every day, or oh, you know, there's 2 videos dropped today or something like that. But for the most part, I have definitely slowed down a lot. And it really took me having a conversation with my homegirl 2 days ago to understand what was actually going on. And for right now, what I understand the problem to be is honestly that I'm just very, very uninspired right now. Like I'm unmotivated and I'm uninspired to create content around a bunch of the things that I was typically creating content around, just because of the content matter that it is. So like when I really sat down and thought about it, because again, I had a conversation with my homegirl and I'm like, yo, I had a moment, a come to Jesus moment, y'all, in the Chipotle parking lot 2 days ago. I'm like, Erica, you need to make more videos. What the hell are you doing? Like, yo, people want to hear from you. You actually like making this content. What is the problem? Like, why are you taking forever to do this? And why aren't you recording that? And like, what is the deal, girl? Like, you have this platform. You have this great opportunity. Like, it should be no problem for you to create. So I repeated that to my homegirl, and we like literally she just started asking me really great probing questions to help me unpack it. And I started to say like, the shows that I'm watching, I'm not inspired by. Like the only thing right now that really gets me excited to watch it every single week is Power Book 2 Ghosts. That's it. Even in like, I have been keeping up with the schedule for Zatima, but that only I think I was able to do because one, each episode was only 30 minutes or less. And it was very, like, easy to talk about. Like, Zach is a fuckboy. That's it. That's all. Fatima doing her best, and Zach can't get it together. I can, you know, say that in 11 minutes and put that out, and bop-de boom, that's cool. But when I think about All-American, and then All-American Homecoming, and, like, ending that season and, like, not being inspired or not being excited anymore. Bel Air, when it first started, and, like, feeling so disappointed in that. Sisters, and, like, I stayed up with it. I stayed on top of like the schedule of it and posting. But the one thing that I love about the show, everybody else hates about the show, which is Karen. And then I'm fielding every time I post content, it's like, you're just a Karen lover. You just this, you're just that. And it's like, that's what all of my interactions became. So like when I really sit down and I look at it, I'm like, yo, over the course of months, everything that you like about creating content, everything that you like about building this YouTube channel has been like slowly being pulled away from you. And those are the things that made like dealing with trolls and dealing with nasty ass, hateful ass people like kind of okay. Like it's not okay, but it's kind of okay because regardless, I'm enjoying it. Like the moment I stop enjoying it, the moment I stop actually being inspired or actually being excited to see a show and then run to the internet to talk to y'all about it, it's just like, well, then what the hell am I actually getting for it? Because I'm not actually excited about it. I'm not enthralled by these storylines. I don't actually care. And I think that that's the thing that has really been the pushing factor in like demotivating me. And I wanted to kind of like talk about it because one, I'm very grateful for my platform. I'm very grateful for every single person who subscribes to me, for every person who shares my content and who sends me DMs and like talks to me about these shows. And, you know, just everybody that's a part of this community, I'm very, very grateful for it. However, there's also a very, very huge weight and toll that this whole thing takes. And up until now, up until having this conversation with my homegirl and even journaling last night about it, I wasn't really registering the full toll. Like I really kind of been taking things and just kind of like moving. Like even when in the heyday of like my All-American popularity and like being completely just disrespected and dismantled online based off of my thoughts about Olivia Baker. Like even in the course of enduring that, I don't think I ever stopped to really register the toll that it was fully taking on me. And how certain feelings of like resentment and of course lack of motivation and disappointment, all of that is starting to manifest. And when you don't deal with something, it don't go away. I think it's really kind of been like the perfect storm with me getting sick recently, because I was kind of able to deal with that. Like I was able to stop just cold turkey and think about like what it is that I'm doing, why am I doing it, what is getting my attention, how I feel about all those things, and then also how do I want to feel about those things? What are the things that need to happen to get me from how I'm feeling and where I'm at to what I want to feel and where I want to be? So I'm really, really grateful for that. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Jay Tucker. This is literally just me catching up. And like right now I'm talking about why I have not been posting. And besides me being sick, it's really the landscape. Now, the second part of this, which was really, y'all, this was just so eye-opening for me. And shout out to my own girl, Mariama. Like, I love her so much. I could talk to her about anything. And I'm just so grateful for that. But the other part of the thing where I'm not inspired by the shows or excited is also that I am a writer, that I am a director, that I am an actress. And pretty much everything that I talk about here on this channel is in the same genre content and stories where I actually create. So the part of this as well, in reference to not being inspired and being disappointed, is also a level of frustration that's brewing in me and resentment that's brewing, because I want to tell these stories. And in a lot of ways, I feel like I could tell them better. So subconsciously, apparently, I've been slowing down and creating content because I don't want to actually talk about and highlight your bullshit when I could create a better version with better dialogue and deeper character development and get into the nitty gritty and not having a surface level talk that we haven't. And all of these things that we're seeing play out that I have criticism for, like subconsciously, I'm like, well, girl, like you would do this or you would do that. And one of the things that I try to refrain from on my channel is framing things in that way of like, oh, I don't like this and this is how I would do it because I just know better. It's like, no, you don't know better. I have a different perspective. But ultimately, if I'm really, really honest, in addition to not being inspired or not being excited about the content, right, that is in the landscape that I've chosen to like build my platform on and talk about heavily, I also have not been staffed on any of these shows, have not, as of yet, because it's coming, but have yet to, get the money that I need to make this pilot that I wrote or this short and like been poured into in reference to having the resources that I need to tell these stories that would be similar but different and like better or deeper in whatever way I regard. So I'm also like, damn, that is also why you're shying away from making videos right now, because you're also going through a thing of like resenting the industry because they are giving us this when they could give us this, and all the while you feel kind of like discarded and like you're giving energy and effort to something that's not actually reciprocal. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense, but that's what I literally have been processing in the last 2 days and had a conversation about. And it really just brought me to this very enlightened space of like, oh, okay. And honestly, like yesterday, I spent all of yesterday rewatching a bunch of All-American episodes, which is how y'all got the 2 videos you got yesterday. I have another video that's planned and I have to edit the other 2 before that one. Like I'm catching up with All-American, but I feel like I've only been able to even do that because now that I've been able to express and articulate my issue and fully understand it for myself, I'm like, okay, so this is what this is. This is how I can actually move forward. And going back and rewatching the All-American episodes from like episode 9, I started there. And like I've been going forward. All-American as a show is not a bad show. I think it had a huge fall from grace, and it's not the show that it was when we first got it. Um, and now, in me processing my feelings, I also feel like I've been able to create a little bit more of detachment and lack of ownership. So I also kind of resent it less. And I feel like that's something I'm just going to have to go through with a couple of other things that I might have really, really enjoyed or was obsessed with, and just create some type of detachment process so that I don't assign certain negative emotions when I get disappointed, if that makes sense. I'm rewatching All American. You're a Brave Soul. Child, because I want to catch up. I want to give y'all these videos. So hopefully y'all go back and watch them. I mean, I know it's a lot, so my hopes are not high in reference to what the viewership will be, but I am going to catch y'all up and give you all the breakdowns for every episode this season. And then also the same is happening for Homecoming. The difference with Homecoming is I'm going back to the beginning of Homecoming, and I'm going to be watching it, and I'm trying to figure out in reference to my schedule how I can make myself available so that we could do like group rewatches, because Homecoming season 1 at least was freaking phenomenal. So I know I'm really going to enjoy that, and I would love to enjoy that with y'all. And then I am going to rewatch season 2 because I also want to confirm a couple things. I also have video essays that I have been like shucking my feet and dragging my feet in reference to like release them, but I'm going to release them and let the chips fall where they may. But that's literally the answer to why haven't I been posting, because I have been resentful, frustrated, disappointed, and uninspired with the content landscape specifically for us, because I'm also watching a bunch of stuff, y'all. Like somebody just mentioned, do I watch Abbott Elementary? Yes, I do. I don't talk about Abbott Elementary, and that was something I thought about a while ago, because I don't want it to feel like work. Abbott Elementary has become a show that has really been a safe haven for me, and like a comfort show that I go and I watch, and then I rewatch just to feel good and to feel like, okay, like I can get behind this. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I honestly haven't talked about it on the channel just because I feel like the moment that I start doing breakdowns, then it's going to not be a show that I actually fully enjoy and I'm just like tasked with. And honestly, it's one of the very few Black shows that I have right now that is making me laugh or making me think in a way that's inspiring, and I don't want to give that up just yet. So yeah, I watch Abbott Elementary. The most that y'all might get from me is like I'm going to work on my TikTok and like creating content for TikTok moving forward. So maybe if I talk about Abbott Elementary, I'll do it on like a short form basis, but I won't be creating breakdown videos for Abbott. Like that is my baby and I enjoy it. Like the slow burn between Janine and Gregory, I'm just like sopping it up like it's gravy on a biscuit. You know, I absolutely love it. And then again, I'm watching other stuff. So like my channel thus far has been really centered around highlighting us and our content, because there's so many critics and reviewers that just give a light to white media, and no shade to white media because there's so many great shows and films and all of that. But like part of the reason why I really doubled down in this is because I felt like we just needed more support, and that is the kind of content I create and also most of the content I consume. But I'll also watch a bunch of other stuff. I just haven't been super quick to include the other content that I'm watching on this channel, just because I have wanted to use my platform to lift us up in our stories. However, moving forward, I am going to talk about other things. I am going to make room for those stories, because if I am inspired lately or intrigued, it has been with other shows outside of the Black content that I'm consuming. Like I just finished Severance, the first season, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It's good. It's weird. It makes you wonder about the world that we're currently living in. It's checking a lot of boxes. So I definitely could talk about that. I trying my best to watch Succession right now. I don't know how y'all got into it, because I think I'm on episode 4 of season 1, and I'm also just like, it's like watching paint dry with these white people. Like, what are we doing? Like, what? okay, you want to leave because daddy is about to die. Why do I care? And I'm frustrated with Succession because everybody that I've talked to and like things that I've read online said that this is the best show on television. And I'm just like, no, I've seen better. The Last of Us was phenomenal. I really should have been talking about that and I wasn't. But I really enjoyed The Last of Us. So yes, I'm watching a bunch of stuff. I'm consuming a lot of freaking Apple TV right now because they are also just giving great content and great stories. So yeah, a little bit of different things are going to start to hit the channel, and hopefully you guys enjoyed them. I also want to create a space where I'm doing videos. I want to get back to doing each week of like what I'm watching or what you should be watching, because I want to cultivate conversations around like where y'all should be giving y'all attention. If you like this type of show, then you will really enjoy this. I think I've been able to be like, or feel stuck in this space of like, damn it, all these shows are pissing me off and I don't care about them anymore, because I haven't cultivated a conversation of like, okay, and what else? And like really fleshed out the conversation around what all is available to us. And I've been hyper focused on like what are the Black people doing and what can I talk about? And it's like, no, like let's talk about everything across the board. Hey, Oxylander, what's up? If you guys got questions, I'm going to try to answer them at the end. So like drop your questions into the comment section or into the chat. And if you're watching this on a rewatch, put in the comments. I'll come back and see it. Where are the power breakdowns? Because we're talking about what's been up. Okay, so I got sick. That was one thing. And then also, I be going through imposter syndrome sometimes. Like, I love Mark Dark so much. I think that he's phenomenal. And I think MovieBot is also so great. And like the way that those two specifically, there's so many content creators talking about power right now, y'all. It's ridiculous. But also, y'all get y'all's, do your thing, get your views, all that. I go through moments where I'm just like, well, they said this, so I can't say this, or this person said this, so I can't say this, so this person already broke it down in all the ways it need to be broken down. Do I need to break it down? It's like, no, you do, because you care about it, you excited, and I'm so excited. Like, when I tell y'all 9 p.m. on Thursdays, don't talk to me because it's midnight on the East Coast, and I got the Stars app, and I'm watching Power Book 2 twice, like back to back. I enjoyed it that much, and the way that I robbed myself of like sharing it with y'all is wild. But I'm like 3 breakdowns behind on this channel. I'm 1 breakdown behind on my second channel. So if you don't know, I have a second channel called Erica Vane TV2, and I typically watch the episode, and then I would just turn on the mic and just say whatever the hell I'm thinking. And that is my way of like basically just trying to make it easier, because I'll get in my head and I'm like, well, I gotta know everything and I gotta watch it 2 or 3 times before I can do the breakdown video, because I want to make sure that I'm giving people everything that they supposed to have, right? Oh wait, is it frozen? Hold on, y'all. Let me quit this. It's breaking up. 2 seconds. I just want to make sure I'm not like continuing and I'm also having all these damn issues. Let me quit that. Save. Okay, are we back? Okay, we're back. I had to shut down a couple things. I had so many damn things open. I be doing a lot. My computer be like, girl, you're trying it right now. Like, you're really trying it. I would get in my own way and like, oh, if I can't give everybody every single nitty gritty detail and do it first, then why am I doing it? So I'm going to give y'all the breakdowns for Power, because I literally still even rewatch. Like, I'm waiting for their mid-season break, which is supposed to be after, I think, episode 7. Not this week, but next week. They're going to take a break for a week. And I'm going to go and I'm going to rewatch it all again anyway, because I enjoy it that much. But I do my first thoughts videos on Erica Vane TV2, where it's literally just me giving my initial reaction up front. And then also I've been enjoying other content creators. So like Mo.J, he has been killing it. He goes live like 4 days out the week to talk about Power Book 2. And he does a live like at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time after he watches the episode. So what I would do is I would record my first impressions, be editing that, and then in his live and like talking with them and then doing whatever. And it just kind of happened where I just never made it back to do the breakdown videos for the last few for this channel, but they're coming because people have been asking me about it. Like, yo, I want you to I like your thoughts. I have gotten that people appreciate me being a woman talking about it because there's a lot of men on YouTube talking about Power Book 2 Ghosts. So I am going to pick back up and do what I have to do when it comes to that. But honestly, the thing is like logistics. And then sometimes me just getting in my head and being like, girl, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care about what you got to say about this. And it's like, that's not true. At the very bare minimum, Erica, you give a fuck about what you got to say. So just say it. So I'm going to do better with that, and I'm going to be more consistent with that, especially because we're like halfway through the season, and I'm like, oh, I wish they had more episodes because they are giving me everything that Bel Air used to give me, that All American used to give me, that Homecoming used to give me, and not necessarily in story, but just in excitement. Like, I'm really going through a drought right now when it comes to like just being so excited and craving television. Like new episodes of a show, like, bruh, I literally just have Power Book 2 Ghosts and that's it. And it wasn't like that before and I'm mad about it, but that's where my power reviews and all of that is. I also want to get to the point where I'm dropping one video a day about it because I have so many thoughts. Like, I've written down so many like storylines and subject lines that I want to actually explore. So in addition to the breakdowns and the previews, I am going to be doing just other conversation pieces or content pieces about specific points within it because I do enjoy breaking that down. Like I did the video about Tariq telling Lucas that the reason why RSJ didn't sign with him was because he treated him like the talented 10th. And I enjoyed so much like reminding people what that was and like the significant cultural reference that is and like the deeper meaning of that and like why this played out this way. Like that's what I really, really enjoy most about my channel. Like it's one thing, like I don't ever want to be regarded as like one of those reviewers that just basically told you what happened in an episode. Like I pride myself on not just saying, oh, this happened and this happened, but this is why I think it happened and this is how I feel about this happening. Because that's just how I consume media myself, and I want to cultivate a community of like-minded people that also consume media in that way. So I'm gonna lean more into that and stop psyching myself out when it comes to that. But yes, I talked a little bit already. Like I have my little bullet points right here. So again, if y'all have questions, drop them in the chat or in the comment section. I'm trying to get through my little bullet points so I make sure that I address everything I can think of. And y'all know by the end of this, everything that's been up, right? Frustration. I have frustration and self-sabotage on here. I kind of describe self-sabotage in that like looking at the landscape and like looking at myself, I'm like, oh well, I don't need to talk about this because so-and-so talked about that, but I'm gonna deal with that. And clearly that's not the case. It's just me telling myself some bullshit. I don't need to tell myself that. Y'all need to tell y'allself that. Wait, why did I say no data? What's going on? I think it's back. So we're going to deal with that. In addition to being frustrated with the certain shows and what they're doing with their characters that we love so bad, I think I've also experienced some frustration in like the lack of movement in my own original content, which I'm already like working on getting certain things off the ground and launch. I also went into a space, and I talked about this with y'all in another live in the past, where I was like, oh, I'm watching web series again. Y'all, I was watching this new web series based in New York, and they started out so strong. They were very short episodes, so they were like less than 10 minutes, which I wasn't necessarily a fan of, but I understand like creating content, creating a television series is very, very expensive. And when it comes to web series and you don't have a ton of resources, you only can do the best as you can. But like as the series is going on, and I don't want to mention the name of it because I'm not trying to bash it, but like they got to like the mid-season, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the characters. Like, I really wanted to uplift it. I wanted to share it with y'all and be like, yo, go and watch this because this is giving us little bites of, like, what we want in these other things, the bigger things that come in from studios. But, y'all, the last 3 or 4 episodes, and I think that they're done because I think they might only have an 8-episode season, or it might have been 10. But basically, the last 3 episodes, like, they were so short. The season finale was, like, 3 minutes long, which is kind of ridiculous. and they had so many holes and jumps and this and that, and I was like, I would have rather y'all continue working on it versus trying to rush to release it, and then you just give us nothing. You give us like, I don't know, like basically you spent the first 4 episodes like let me know who these characters are and giving me a reason to care about them. But then by the end of the season, I don't care about any of these characters. I also don't believe the stuff that you put them through or the responses that you have them having are actually real to the characters that you built up. So now I just feel like I just wasted my damn time with you. And that for me created more frustration because I'm like, dang, I'm experiencing this at the big studio level with the big old shows, the big old budgets on network and streaming or whatever. And then I'm also experiencing it now with this web series that I really wanted to get behind a champion. Like I was this close to reaching out to the creatives behind there and like asking them what did they need to promote it so that more eyes can be on it and so that I could lend whatever of my platform to help them. Like I went and I looked at their social and I'm like, okay, do y'all need like branding package in reference to like how to better frame what you got going on? Because I would love to like support independent creators and independent storytellers that were telling great stories. And honestly, they just fumbled the damn bag. They dropped the ball towards the very end and it just made me even more frustrated. I was like, oh. So now I don't want to talk about it. And I'm glad because I was going to start talking about it, but I'm glad I waited until I got to see the whole entire season because it's not something I would actually recommend now. But that's something that has been frustrating for me. And then also, if I'm gonna be like 100% honest, y'all, and don't get me wrong, I love y'all. Even the people who don't like me, I actually love you. But I've also been finding myself getting frustrated, specifically in the sisters universe and the Zatima-ness of it all in the conversations. Right now, we're dealing with, on that show, so if you don't watch it, basically, it's about this couple, and it's a fan favorite couple, and clearly, if I've not already experienced trauma around fan favorite couples that I don't necessarily agree with anymore, I stopped aligning with this couple because the dude is raggedy. He is disrespectful. He's a cheater. He is traumatized by his past, but he is using that as a reason to be very destructive to himself as well as the woman who he does not deserve. So I'm having that conversation in the content that I'm creating, and like the amount of people who come back making excuses for this man, blaming a woman for this man's actions. Like he specifically does and says certain things, and people come in my comments and say, well, it's her fault. When I tell y'all, I get so frustrated because while these are fictitious shows, y'all are real people. And when I read y'all's comments, I take it with a certain amount of weight because y'all are real people out here in the world. Like y'all are the people who I'm sharing this damn planet with. And when I get an overwhelming number of what I feel to be idiocy and ignorance, it gets very disheartening and frustrating because I'm just like, wow, like y'all are literally out here. Like I could run into your ass in Walmart and Target and you are raggedy the third, you have no self-worth, and you are 100% okay with this black man running amok, being dismissive, destructive, and disrespectful, all because you don't have no self-worth or no concept of like boundaries are real and we need to hold each other accountable in love. Like the amount of people that I'm able to see in my comment section who think that accountability is a like 4-letter word, a bad word, and don't actually see the love in someone holding you accountable or holding you to a standard that's going to be the best thing for you as well as for them is like wild to me. And it has definitely been something that I have been growing in frustration with because I'm just like, I really got to share the planet with you. Wow. And I want to be like, well, if that's okay for you in your house, but also it's not okay. Like if you got a man that's out here smashing girls on you, I don't want you to think that that's okay. I don't want you to think it's okay for a man to have mother issues and in turn treat you a certain way because of his mommy issues versus unpacking and dealing with his damn mommy issues. Like the way that we kind of like placate to our own toxicity is wild to me. And I definitely use my content a lot to speak about how these things relate to us in real life. Because I believe that so much, specifically the stuff that I consume, so much is very relatable. And I have learned from television shows. I have learned from films. And I appreciate that because I didn't have to experience every single thing I see to know better or to do better for myself. And I really just wish more of us could take the media that we're consuming, and if we don't feel brave enough to confront it in our real life, then start with the fucking media that you're consuming. Like, don't accept no shit from a fictitious character. Like, we can get to your life and like the abuse that you're experiencing or the disrespect that you're experiencing later. But like, bare minimum, call a thing with this fictitious character because it's dumb. Like, you deserve better. Fatima deserves better. And like, I don't have to argue with these people, but the cancer in me and the Baltimore girl in me has me a lot of times arguing with these people, and I just began frustrated. That's just what it is. Because that's what's been up. Okay, moving on. Getting more focused. And again, I talked about this at the beginning, so if you're just now tuning in, catch the replay, babes, and rewind so that you know exactly why I haven't been posting. But now that I know the problem, now that I know what my issue is, now that I have been able to articulate it, I'm getting more focused, and I'm putting certain things in place to counteract certain negative feelings that is keeping me from being my best in this space and being my best for this platform. So I, again, have gotten much more focused about the stuff that I'm creating content about, what conversations I'm having, and I'm working on a system right now of like parenting. So like right now I'm playing catch up with All American. I have to sandwich that with something that I really, really enjoy. So I'm like jumping back and forth between Power Book 2 content and All American content because it's more of a struggle for me to make the All American content than it is for me to make the Power Book 2. But basically I'm getting more focused and I'll come up with a plan. So we're going to do that. Serving my community. All right. I don't feel like I've done a bad job of servicing my community. However, I don't feel like I have been as clear as I could be, which has made it so that I don't serve you in the way that I want to serve you. But I've been able to figure that out, and I know how I want to be moving forward. So like my little tagline is, I'm your good sis you let her talk TV with, right? Or your good sis you let her talk film with. But TV is like, has a really great ring to it. And I sat with myself the other day and I was like, but then why? Like, why do you want them to talk TV with you? Or why do they want to talk TV with me? And at its core, I believe, like, y'all come to me, because I'm sure you're watching plenty of other people, but you come to me because of my perspective, because of how honest I'm going to be, because of how I relate it to real life, because of maybe the psychological or emotional aspects that I also drum up and how I actually talk about these things. And I really think that my community specifically moving forward, I want us to not just talk about these shows because they're entertaining, but I want us to use this content to make our lives better, to make our lives healthier, to make our lives happier. And that just goes into what I mentioned before of like seeing something play out on screen and you could be in something similar, but make a different decision because you saw this don't work out in the way that you hoped it would if you go that route. So like, let me go the other route. And I want to do a better job of having those like real conversations around the content. I think that's also going to help me resent it less and become less unmotivated, because it'll also drum up the purpose. Like, I'm not here to just give you a recap of what happened in the episode. I'm here to help you unpack how you felt about what happened in this episode. Ask yourself some real questions, specifically starting with why, and like, let us discuss what this episode meant to you, what this character means to you, what your feelings about this character mean to you. Like, when I think about what I experienced in reference to hate in the All-American universe with that fandom, specifically around Olivia Baker, like, there's more content that I need to create about people's obsession with her as a character. Because in a lot of ways, the narcissist in her connects with the narcissist in them. In many, many ways, we identify with, or we placate to, or we make excuses for fictitious characters or whatever inanimate thing that we like, because it's given us permission to do something. And I want to unpack that. Like, I want to unpack the fact that so many people come for me because of what I say about Olivia, and that she's selfish and narcissistic and that sometimes is a shitty person, because they are literally that same person. And you want me to patch you up and you want me to tell you that it's okay, but it's not. You want me to tell you that you're great, but you're not. You want me to tell you that, oh my God, you're amazing, when you're not. And that's okay. Like, I want to like create more content where I'm saying that with my full chest, because I said what I said and I meant what I said. And ultimately, if you let it, that can help you. For every man that I'm dealing with on a regular basis that's coming in my comments or in my DMs is so pissed at me about calling out how Zach is a boy and how he was wrong for saying that he wanted to sleep with his neighbor. He trying so hard not to his neighbor, and how he was so disrespectful to Fatima mama, and how this is not okay, and how he needs to earn Fatima back. I'm saying all that because it's the damn truth, and you are mad about it because you are the Zach in your life and your ass is the problem. You are the menace, and y'all want me to stop saying it, but I'm not going to stop saying it. Like, moving forward, I'm going to say that with my full-on chest, and then I'm also going to give you some tangible ways to be better. Like, it's not my fault if you really can't see yourself and you don't allow the content to make you better. You don't allow the call out to make you better. You don't allow the accountability to make you better. But I will feel fine and sleep good at night knowing that I said it. You had the information. If you chose to use it and apply, that's on you. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And again, I think that I would just feel better and at the core. So even if I'm not enjoying everything that's playing out on a television show, if I can talk about what I think this means to like human behavior and how this ties to our personalities and how it ties to how we're interacting in life currently, then that would also help me like stay a little bit dropped in and be able to create more content, because I'm still having real raw ass conversations. Point blank period. And that includes me also calling myself out, like calling out my own biases to particular people. Like, I love Karen, but I love Karen because I was a Karen. I literally lived her life and I understand her better than most. And I'm not going to stop talking about how I understand her. I'm not going to allow y'all to demonize me for understanding her. And I'm going to ride and rally for her. And I'm going to give everybody the reason why. Because I also stand 10 toes down in how Black women are constantly mistreated. We're going to have more conversations about that. We are socialized to dismiss and disrespect Black women, specifically on the hue scale. So the darker you are, the worse it gets. We're going to continue to have them conversations. Point blank period, because most of the people don't even realize that they're in love with Fatima and Zach as a couple because they love the aesthetic. Meanwhile, it's toxic. It's a toxic relationship that nobody should model their relationship goes after. Y'all like the way that these people look, and you can't get past that, but you need to grow up. And we're going to have that conversation too. So yes, I'm going to serve the community better, and I'm going to serve the community better in that way. Original content. So again, going back to being uninspired by what I'm seeing and talking about, and then being frustrated and like, oh, I want to make my own stuff. I'm just going to have to do it. We had a conversation about this, I think, a while ago when I was talking about Bel Air and Harlem. I'm in the process right now of shooting some stuff, and y'all just going to see it. And it's not going to be the perfect, best thing, but I'm going to tell a story. We're going to put it out there, and we're going to get better as we go. That's it. That's all. Because I am my best when I'm creating and saying what I need to say. And that is not just me sitting and talking to the camera, but in narrative. Like, I have written so much. I have done treatments for different things. I'm also editing my trailer for that I shot a while ago, and I just kind of put that to the side. The original content is coming. So the way that y'all ride for me with these breakdowns, I'm going to need y'all to ride for my original content. Okay? Because it's coming. And it's coming so soon. Like, y'all don't even know how close I am to pressing go on the first Erica Vane TV original show. Y'all gonna see it very, very soon. And y'all asses better watch it. And I'm not playing. That's the only thing I ask from y'all. And that's it. Now I can answer questions. 44 minutes? I thought this was gonna be 30 minutes. But that's everything. That's everything that's been up. That's everything that's been on my brain. I feel good. Like, I feel like I'm in a really great place. As y'all can imagine, going through a lot of this, some of it has been a little bit depressing. But I don't feel like I've been depressed. But like, in stopping myself from creating and like being in a funk about certain things, it definitely could have been depressing. I do feel I feel like a little bit guilty about how like All American Homecoming ended, in like, not my lack of support, because I was still talking about it and doing the lives with y'all, but like I was so gung-ho and like screaming from the mountaintops for everybody to watch it, and then I just kind of stopped doing that. So like, that's something else that's like been on my brain and I kind of felt guilty about. But other than that, I'm good. I feel good. I think I addressed everything that was on there. I think All American was on the front. Um, I am watching Bel Air. I am going to be catching up with all the Bel Air breakdowns because Bel Air most recently is better than how it started. The first 3 episodes, ooh, child, a struggle. And I'm really glad that I stuck with it because I wasn't going to watch it, honestly. But then I also felt guilty of like abandoning this black show. The biggest thing that I still struggle with on Bel Air is Jackie. Like, I just really hate how they rolled that character out. I hate how they pedestalize her, and that's not actually a part of the story. I think that it's a problematic way to move with this character, and it's saying something subconsciously to black women, and I don't appreciate it. So depending on how the season ends and what they actually do with the character, maybe they can redeem themselves. But the way they had like ushered her in, that was 100% like, honestly, it was the cherry on top of a shit cake. But I have been watching it. And I am going to go back and share with y'all my thoughts on it. Sounds like I had a bad case of a flu. I might have. I haven't had the flu in so long. I'm like, what the hell is this? Wall 46 says, I love Karen. Yes. Where the Karen love is at. Karen, my homegirl, don't mess with her. Yes, Kenny Ford. Hey, Aaron M. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the members in the chat. I appreciate y'all so much. I do have my members only live, which got pushed back because I got sick the day that I was supposed to do it. But we are doing a members only live for April. I just have to reschedule it. You know what's up? Can't give up because of the trolls. I'm not giving up because of the trolls at all. Happy Thursday, Daria. Kenny Ford says, yes, E on point. I write and act, and it throws me off seeing missed opportunities on shows. Yeah, it does. It really does. All American feels like a parody show now. It's wild. I talked about Abbott Elementary already. How many episodes are left in All American? All American this season, I think, is going to still have 20 episodes, so they should have 4 more left. Mac Hodgson says, am I only one who thought the Homecoming season 2 fell off? Stop watching it because it looks like Homecoming is getting canceled. I actually don't think that Homecoming is getting canceled. They've been putting a lot of money into promoting it even after the season finished, so I don't think it's getting canceled. Warner Brothers is like having a shit show right now. Like, I'm gonna try. I heard they're having an estate sale, so they're selling a bunch of props and stuff from shows and stuff that they canceled. It's going on, I think, through tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to go tomorrow to see what's going on. But I don't think that Homecoming is getting canceled, but Lord knows what it's going to look like with them going into next season to film, because they have gutted the whole network for the most part. The CW is not going to be the CW that we've known and love. Is questionable. But I don't know. I don't feel like they're canceling Homecoming just because they're still putting money into promoting it post, like, new episodes premiering. Like, they have them going on college tours and doing a bunch of things. So I don't think it's getting canceled, but I think that it's not going to be what we have known and loved, which is what, speaking to what you're saying in reference to it fell off. Yes, I do believe it kind of like fell off in reference to story. It's the nerdy love for me. Yes, Janine and Gregory are everything. Janine made you mad last night. I haven't watched last night's episode yet because I'm also trying to catch up on Snowfall, y'all. I've been avoiding the Snowfall spoilers like the plague on social because I'm so behind. But that ended last night, and last night I literally watched, because I think I had stopped at episode 3, so I have been watching Snowfall episodes trying to catch up. Wall 46 says I don't watch Abbott because after teaching all day I don't want to watch any more school. But it's funny. You might find that it's really, really relatable because you are a teacher. The Company You Keep. What channel is that on? What network is that on? I've never heard of The Company You Keep. Oxylander says, me and my best friend usually watch All American together, but we watch 5/16 for 7 minutes and turned it off. IDK, it's not giving like it used to. I think for me, I did watch episode 16. It's their need to like make everything wrap up in a nice little bow. I'm over it. It don't feel real. The Power Show got a lot of things going on. They do, but they're balancing all the storylines so beautifully. DNC Greatness says, preach queen. Zach ain't ish. Tired of women caring. And now Fatima always getting deflected on and blamed for his stupidity. It's wild. And it would be innocent if it was like with just a show. But this is also something that mirrors in real life. So these people come on my page and they like are trying to drag me for like calling a thing with this boy. And I'm like, wow, y'all are like this in real life. Y'all not just like this on the internet. How many Karens or Fatimas do you know that you are telling to stay in this relationship or to keep paying for this or keep doing whatever, and they're being mistreated? And this, like, wild. Hey Kathleen, welcome in. Thank you. Hillary says you should unpack that because people most definitely project through characters and get triggered because in people unpacking that character, they feel exposed as an individual. That is real. And I think that that's something that while I kind of knew, I don't really think about. So I get so offended when people come at me so hard. I'm like, yo, you would think I was talking about you or your mama. And for them, it's like, yeah, you are talking about me, ho. And honestly, if I am, what are you going to do about it? Because the crazy thing is, I'm the type of person, if I see a character that I align deeply with, and that character also has a bunch of trifling ass tendencies, one of the first things that I do would be like, damn, am I trifling? Like, I sit and I think so much. I unpack every fucking thing. I process as much as I possibly can because I'm very aware of, like, we are who we think we are to a certain extent. We're also who our environment or who society has made us to be. And until you choose to identify and be self-aware of like what your circumstances have embedded in you and make a choice of to keep it or to get rid of it, you're gonna be that. So when I feel like I'm aligned with some heavy toxic or some heavy trifling stuff, I'm like, damn, why do you like that? Why do you, girl, that's not okay. Like, I don't have a problem with having that conversation. Like, there's plenty of things that I've seen Karen do, and it's not the right thing to do, but I know that I did something similar, and I know why I did it. And I know that today, I would not do that. However, at the age that I was, with what I knew and who I was in relationship with and what they had done, yeah. If I was back then, I would do it again. But I'm also okay with that. Like, people, I think, need to do a better job of, yes, processing and doing all that. But also, if you are just who you are, and at its core, like, it's this. Like yourself. Because if you're a narcissist and you like that about yourself, then stand 10 toes down in it. So much so that you don't get offended when somebody says, yo, you're a narcissist. The problem is you are these things, but you don't like that about yourself. And baby, that's between you and Jesus. Like, that's for y'all to work out. The fact that I identified it is not now all of a sudden our problem. That is still your problem. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they're just not doing that. And that's fine. But I'm not going to change me because you're not doing the work that you need to do. I'm just not. I think I do a really great job of, like, when something is problematic or toxic and I identify with it, I'm like, yeah, that's toxic. But you know what? Right now, at this point in life, at this moment, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with the bias in this. I will tell people, like, there are certain things that I feel like Black women, I'm okay with you getting away with if you're able to get away with it, because there's so much that we don't get to experience. There's so much privilege that we don't have. So if you lash out because of something and you didn't have the pressures of X, Y, and Z, and it wasn't something that killed somebody or wasn't something that did unrepairable harm, then I'm kind of okay with you having a moment of release, because you don't get that no other time. But I'm going to have a real conversation about that. Like, I'm going to say, this might not be all right, but it's all right for me right now. For everybody that's aligning with Olivia and who she is and just get so butthurt when I say that she's selfish and I say that she's a narcissist and I say that she's not a good person, because I do believe that to be the case now. And I spent a lot of time like, Okay, y'all, just because she's selfish don't mean I'm saying she's a bad person. She has had a bunch of bad person moments. And maybe your ass has as well. But that doesn't mean that, like, it's over for you. I have been an angry woman. I have been not unprovoked in my opinion, but I have had my moments of being mean, being nasty, being nice nasty. And the only way I was able to grow through it and not stay that person is identify when that shit is happening, call a thing, figure out if I'm okay with it, right? Like, damn, why did you talk to this person this way? This person really loves you and cares about you, and you just dismissed them, or you just did this, or you did that. Did you really mean to do that? No, I didn't, but I was hurt about this. Okay, cool. So you know that you need to not do that moving forward, and like figure out a way to better handle this thing that bothered you, because that's not the way to do it. Okay, cool. Now I'm not a nasty, mean person because I've unpacked and dealt with the shit that made me in that moment mean and nasty. I sit on this damn mic and I tell people when I feel like Olivia's being selfish, when I feel like she's being narcissistic, when I feel like there's no excuse, and it's like, no, there's all of the excuses. You just don't understand. Nobody has ever loved her. No, all of that is fine and cool, but also at some point you have to deal with yourself. The world is going to continue to be the world. Life is going to continue to life. But we still have to deal with things. We are 100% responsible for our reaction. There's no shortage of trauma within the Black community. There's no shortage of trauma for Black women. It's just not a shortage. The way that people are like going hard on my ass right now because this season of Zatima has exposed Zach's mommy issues and his abandonment issues by way of his mama. And now all of a sudden, because we seen him drop a tea about his mama abandoning him after sucking dick in a gas station, now we're supposed to give him a free card, get out of jail free, for dismissing Fatima, sleeping with this girl, wanting to sleep with this girl, fighting the man who fixed her like, no. Your trauma in this one area, while it can be something that affects you mentally and emotionally and informs your decisions as you get older as a person, you have to choose to stay stuck in it, to never address it, and to make further dumbass decisions based on it, or you can choose to not. Everybody in the world don't necessarily give you a free pass because you got this damn trauma that you're using as a damn crutch to now shit on everybody else. That's not how it works. The same thing for Zach, the same thing for Olivia. The only thing I can say right now is like I am tiptoeing when it comes to my conversation around Olivia because I think it's very valid in her father dying. Like that, which is why I also hate that they killed Billy, because Billy has become the get out of jail free card for so many of their bullshit ass behaviors. Now, if she does certain things, she can literally equate it back to Billy dying, and it's like, okay, it makes sense. But before that, girl, you have felt abandoned, cool. You have felt left out, cool. You're the social pariah, cool. Your father is focused on football, not your family, cool. Your white mama don't understand Blackness and has not integrated y'all as she should into Black culture, cool. Like, all of those things can be true, but it doesn't give you an excuse to be selfish, to be trifling, to be a narcissist. It just don't. I did not mean to get on my damn soapbox about that. But that's what y'all can expect. More conversations about that and unpacking that, because at its core, I think that that's what I'm experiencing. When people come at me very hard because I said whatever I said about the character, they believe themselves to be that character and they don't appreciate me calling them out. But guess what, babes? Take it up with Jesus, because I don't know what to tell you. I ain't gonna stop. So you can either stop watching or you can do the damn work and get better. Your choice. Hillary says, laugh out loud. Exactly. Don't ever let them get to you, sis. They be so triggered because the shoe fits. They need to go and heal for real. They need to go and heal. Period. And I'm never going to not advocate for Black women. It's just never not going to happen. So if you come on my channel and that's what you want, babes, pick a easier fight. Go do something that you could actually win at, because that's not the one that you're going to win at. Micah, hey Micah, welcome in. It says AA for me is like a comfort show. It's definitely not the show it was in seasons 1 and 2, but as long as but it's on and I'm going to watch it. I hope Billy dying can be a turning point in terms of storylines. I don't know where we turn to, Because we had a bunch of characters doing a bunch of random stuff any damn way, and now they got a valid reason to just be running around doing a bunch of random stuff because somebody major died. Like, I feel like, if anything, Billy dying is like pigeonholed the story even more. And it sucks. It really sucks. A lot of people using Olivia as their avatar. Alexandria, so many people, and I'm just like, why? She's raggedy. Beautiful, but raggedy. AF. And then you're mad at me about it. I didn't tell you to pick her as your damn leader. I actually told you to do the opposite. Y'all so busy pitting Olivia against Layla that you missed out on the beautiful ass character development. Now it's regressing now, y'all, because Layla ain't who she was. But y'all missed out on a transformational journey when it comes to Layla Keaton. Y'all could have picked a better little light bright leader. You literally chose wrong. That's not my fault. That's not my problem. Thank you, T. Thank you. Yes, AA has thrown accountability out of the window. Yo, feel his heart. Like, specifically for episode 16. I'm going to talk about this in my breakdown. But, like, when I tell you I am so frustrated with Layla now. Girl, you did all this to get this goofy-ass name back. Only to not want to use it. Because for Monica was perfectly fine and honored your damn mama as you had planned. Only for you to go to a quinceañera. Which, why is Patience performing at a quinceañera? And she's supposed to be a superstar. And then realize because a little girl hyphenated her name that you need to put for Monica Keaton record. Dumb. Dumb as hell. Just as dumb as Clay giving you the name. Like, I just went back and rewatched that episode where, you know, Clay had agreed, like, yeah, we need to stop fighting because Layla came over there like, we need to stop fighting. I'm going to drop it. And then once she drop it, he drops and gives her the damn name. I'm just like, they're so hell-bent on, like, making sure everything gets wrapped up in a nice little bow and making sure they get everything that they supposedly want, regardless of the fact that they want certain things for stupid ass reasons. Layla magically now wanting, or before wanting Keating records came out of nowhere because she spent multiple episodes across multiple seasons literally talking about her own identity and separating herself from her father, only to randomly turn around and be like, it's my name and I do what I want. Girl, no. Any other questions for me about what's been going on or how I'm feeling about certain things? This is literally just a little update live. I will be coming back with more lives. I am going to go live on Tuesday next week for All American if y'all want. I want to put up a community poll because if y'all ain't going to show up for it, I ain't going to do it. But if y'all show up, I understand the responsibility of like giving y'all a place to be able to express yourself specifically about the All American universe. And when I don't go live, I do feel bad. Like, damn, they don't have no place to come together to talk to each other in real time about it. So I am going to put up a community post today to get a poll of like, if y'all want to still go live talking about All American, because I don't have a problem with doing that. However, I probably won't watch it until Tuesday, so I can't guarantee when y'all gonna get the breakdowns because I don't watch it in real time anymore. But I have committed to like watching through the rest of the season and giving y'all breakdowns each week. And then if you want me to go live, I will definitely go live. I also want to go live about Power Book 2 Ghosts, and I think I'm going to have to do that on Saturdays. So hopefully y'all asses tune in for that. The writers could have an interesting story with Olivia standing in her villainy, but they don't want to do it. They also just throw ish at Layla and see if it's working. That's the thing. Like, they could have leaned into really making Olivia a villain. Because she's basically the villain. Without them actually, like, purposefully doing it. Kitty says, is it me or for Monica Keating, a lame name for a record label? Preferred for Monica. Yes, it's not just you. Hillary says, I was wondering if you've watched Good Trouble, the spinoff of The Fosters. No, I've never seen The Fosters and I've never seen Good Trouble. I heard good things about Good Trouble, but I've never watched it. Micah says Layla don't know what she wants, which is ridiculous because she's always been the decisive go-getter type at the start of the episode, I said to the TV, put the names together, ain't rocket science. I actually think it's a dumb putting the names together. Like, she just didn't need it. She really didn't need it. She single-handedly undid all the work that her father did. Clay had to take over the label and now make it his name. And it was like, all for what? For these 2 posters that you got in this one studio? Like, y'all, going back and rewatching it, like, there's literally a scene where her and Patience are looking at a poster of Patience and a poster of Coop. And those the only 2 artists, the only 2 posters, and Patience is like, but isn't it crooked? Girl, it's 2 posters on the wall. And one artist is not even an artist anymore. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Layla, yes, you're a baby boss, honey, but you moving around here like you a big boss and you're not. Tamara says, thank you for giving us amazing content. Valid points. Yes, Power Book 2. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for all the support. D says, you're straight up unbiased and so funny. I love the way that you call people out. What is your take on Angela Fatima, so-called friend? Angela is not actually Fatima friend, but she wants to be. And the problem is that for Angela, the more I see Angela, the more I realize that she's not actually malicious towards Fatima. She don't actually like herself in her life. So of course she's not going to make good decisions for her friend because she don't make good decisions for her own life. And when the therapist was reading her down, I was like, yes, exactly. But for me, it was less about what she does in masking with the makeup and the clothes. I could tell that she don't really love herself just by how she cares for herself or how she just gives herself to people without any regard. When I tell you that most people can't get to me, most people can't talk to me, most Negroes could never, because I regard myself so highly of, I'm just like, and this might sound arrogant or pompous, I don't give a fuck what it sounds like, honestly. I know my worth to a certain extent of like, yeah, baby, no, you and I are not, no. Sorry, not sorry. And Angela don't have that. So in turn, when she's interacting with Fatima, she can point out certain things in reference to like Zach and how he's doing a lot and it's too much, cool. But then she also wants Fatima to like concede and to give in to certain things and to be basic because that's all she wants for herself. So part of it is like, she's not malicious like Belinda in reference to being a shitty friend, but the problem is you have to be careful with your group or who you have as friends, because if they don't take care of themselves, they definitely can't take care of you. And I think that's what we're experiencing with Angela. Alexandra says, I like the independent label story not working. Let's add Clay on, that's not working. Let's add Jordan. Oh, that's not working. Let's add Patience. The crazy thing is, if they would have gave the Clay thing more time, it would have worked. Like, y'all, going back and rewatching, and like episodes 9, 10, and 11 is that whole story arc where she wants the name back from Clay and like they doing little tit for tat stuff. Like, y'all know I like Clay, so watching him like stand 10 toes down and actually be competition for her was making her better. And like, yes, we keep getting little cute moments because let's face it, Greta and Michael are fine. Like, they're fine people. Like, they're gorgeous people. So they're going to look good together. But when you sit and look at the interactions between Layla and Jordan and then Layla with Clay, while there's more antagonism energy there, ultimately, I feel like Clay would actually make her a better person and Jordan makes her comfortable. Jordan makes it easy for her to stay this little basic young girl. And I'm like, cool, I guess, because Layla has experienced so much and she kind of got robbed of a childhood. So like, cool. But like, we already have come so far. You've experienced so much. Like, let's embrace adulthood and keep your evolution going, because this is not given. Like, Jordan and Layla look good. That's it. That's it. Jordan benefits from Layla being in a relationship with him. Cool, but I don't give a fuck that much. Like, I want Jordan, after Simone, to figure out how to be a better person on his own. He's already shown me that he could be a better person when he's motivated by a woman that he's with. It's nothing new. It's nothing exciting. Jordan and Layla do not give, aside from what they look like aesthetically. And babes, I am not one of those people who is like pining after the edits of the couples or whatever. Like, I know that some people's joint. I'm actually here for the story. I'm actually here for the character development. And Clay, he gave that. They have amazing chemistry, even as opponents. Amazing chemistry. And it just lends a runway for it to be more dynamic storytelling if they would have leaned heavier into Clay, even if they didn't keep them as a couple. But like leaning more into her having more scenes with Clay would have done wonders in keeping up the great trajectory that the Layla character was on. Taylor says, I think All American need to stop after season 6. That's one thing I've decided. I'm not rooting for it to stop just because we don't have enough shows, and even as it's going downhill, I'm gonna root for it to stay as long as it can. They didn't kept Riverdale for how long, and I heard that that's trash. Give black people just as much time. Have you watched Double Cross on All Black? No, I haven't watched any All Black shows. I've been meaning to watch Double Cross though because I have a homegirl who's on it, but I haven't watched it. Fearless Heart says, I will always show up for Erica's lives because I'm always entertained and the content always honest. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alexandria says the room was empty. No plaques or awards on the wall, but she wondered about it. It's like when you really sit and think about it, it's like, and then every scene that we see with Clay at Keaton Records or Keaton Records, and then when he changes it to CTE or Entertainment, his stuff looks so much more official. Like when Layla goes up to the label and he walking and he got his little phone and he talking to whoever he looked like a real ass boss, and y'all keep giving us Layla in this goofy ass studio positioning these. I'm like, and Patience getting on my damn nerves because she don't actually want to perform. She don't actually want to do something, but then she's mad that she don't have this and that, and I want more views, and I want to shrink my mouth. Like, it's like, what are we watching? Hillary said, yeah, Layla was my favorite character. Her development was perfect. IDK, why they had to ruin her with the Jordan storyline and her wanting her daddy label so bad out of nowhere. Yes. It's literally Layla's flop era. The only thing that's still working for her is her looks. Her style is impeccable this season, and I love her hair. Other than that, Coley, you're going to have to wait, buddy. I'm on live. Come on, around here. Here. Come on. I don't know what you want. Thank you, sir. Love your content, your perspective and opinions are always so detailed, and they allow me to think about things on a deeper level. Yes, that's what I hope. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Hillary says, I keep saying that they should have gave Layla and Clay an enemies to lovers relationship. I'm telling y'all, it was chemistry. Honestly, y'all, and I'm gonna say alleged because I don't think I'm supposed to talk about this, but I'm gonna. I think that they didn't wind up doing it because they had set that up with the guy before. What was his name? The protege of JP. And it was like around the time that COVID happened and things shut down. I actually had a conversation with the actor who played him, and there were so many scenes that they shot that we never actually got to see, and it was really along in that storyline. So I feel like they didn't do it because they would have felt like just copying and pasting that storyline from one character to the next. But I'm like, we didn't see it, so it never fucking happened. Y'all could have actually did that with Clay for sure. And they refuse to let this godforsaken vortex die. It's enough. I'm so over it. Like the fact that they double down in that and they feel like it's a good thing, it's wild to me. Some of the vortex need to transfer school. The friendship seems so stifling, like suffocating, so crazy. D said, that's what I'm talking about. You got to know your worth. Angela would have anything with something between her legs. And it's one thing to be sexually liberated because ain't nobody shaming you for your body count or nothing like that. But when I see women just out here doing it because they're seeking validation or love by way of it, I'm like, to me, that's not sexual liberation. That's you actually making yourself a slave to somebody else's opinions about you and you don't value yourself. It's one thing if you like to get off and you can pick and choose and you want to do that, cool. But that's not what this is. So when it becomes that, then I'll shut up. But up until now, you don't love yourself, babes, and we need to unpack that. Fearless Heart says they only giving Layla and Taz more reason to hate on her and dismiss her character. It makes me so sad. Child, they gonna come up with that regardless. Kenny Ford says, yes, Riverdale got 7. We best get 8 seasons of All American. Nothing is worse than that show. And I've never watched Riverdale, but I believe y'all when y'all tell me that. Brittany says, right, I'm just patiently waiting on Jordan and Layla to break up. And when they do, party. Listen, I mean, hopefully we can get back to the full-on story development. I will say that if they knew, well, they did. They knew that they were killing off Billy. So now to me, the Jordala relationship makes a little bit of sense because Jordan's daddy dying and him being in a long-distance relationship would have probably been a lot. Which that would have actually been great, honestly. Simone and him could still be together and they could be struggling with like her not physically being there for him and his daddy died. So I was about to say like maybe they made the Layla thing happen so he would have a soft place to land. Layla has been a great support to him in this relationship, specifically during this trying time, but they didn't need it. Because that's a dope story to tell. Like my daddy died, my girlfriend is away at school. What do I do with my life? Alexandra says Layla and Tess have calmed down now that there is absolutely no way that she will end up with Spencer. They are on Alicia now. And the crazy thing is, at this point, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about if I wanted to make a video about it. But I think I still want justice for Spela. That's it. That's all. I want justice for Spela. They actually were very equally aligned and equally yoked. And it was literally just the timing. So while people can be like, oh, we don't have to hate Layla anymore because there's no way that Spencer will go back. They haven't given up the vortex yet. So you never know. And why that fan said patience from the vortex left my lights off. Why is this term surpassing the friend group now? They're all famous. Well, you know, she named her tour Into the Vortex, and her album was called, or no, her album was called Into the Vortex, and then her tour was something called Vortex. So I think that that's how they know. Do you know if All the Queen's Men are back on yet? No, it's not on yet. They're filming right now, I believe, season 3, but it's not back yet. I've seen a lot of people asking for a time jump for Spencer getting into the NFL. Do you think the time jump will help AA, or is it past saving? Honestly, I think it's ruined for me specifically because Billy won't be there for him when he do make it to the NFL, and that's what I signed on for. Like, I will never forget the visual that is Taye Diggs and Daniel Ezra, with Daniel Ezra standing to the side, I think, and Billy's face, and like the way their first poster looked, it sold me. The first season sold me. I'm like, yo, this is a story about this little black boy coming out the hood that's trying to get it and do what he gotta do for himself and his family with the help of this black man, and they are going to get this man to the NFL. With Billy dying, I'm just kind of like, we will never arrive at where I thought we were going, and that's what I signed on for. So like, even if they do a time jump now and Spencer do get to the NFL, it's not going to feel sweet to me. It's not going to feel like, oh, I've given so much time and effort and we finally arrived at what we have been hoping for this entire time. It just kind of feel like, okay. That's the least that they could do. The least that they can do was make sure that he actually makes it to the NFL. But I'm not excited about it anymore. I don't want to see a time jump of him being in the NFL and then Bolivia spinning the block and them skipping over all of what the conflict would be of them actually figuring out how to be together if they really want them to be in game, because she's not a good person right now. She's too selfish and Spencer is too giving. And they need to work that out. And they don't even show them working that out. Like, they don't hold her accountable at all. So if they give us a time jump and put us at the very end of their story, and then it's all just magically worked out, it's going to feel like a lot more of the same of what we're currently getting. And all of it's unearned. For me. You think Simone and Jordan will eventually find their way back to each other? I don't know. When they first broke up, I felt like it. But then seeing what they did on both shows respectively, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if the writers want that. With what we were set up with, I believe that they would have. But the agenda that I feel like they have on Homecoming, I don't know. Honestly. There was a time where I actually kind of hoped for it, but that was before they had Simone and this stupid ass triangle down in Brixton with Damon and Lando that came out of nowhere. Any other questions, y'all? I definitely got to go back to creating videos because y'all know I'm behind. But I wanted to let y'all know what was going on with me. Spencer in the NFL, Olivia is going to lose her mind, like how she lost it over Davida. I don't know if she ever got her mind back when she lost the first time. What does AA Homecoming need to do and change to give you that season 1 passion, love for the story back? Ooh. Let's start with All American. All American would have to shift into a place where they deprioritize Olivia's storyline and either start focusing on other storylines or refocus on Spencer, but create a more fully well-rounded story for him. Like, I need to see more Spencer joy, less Spencer pain. Of course, seeing the trials and tribulations of him being a collegiate athlete, him actually going to school, but like make the story about him again. That would be a great start. And deprioritizing Olivia, we would see her a lot less. If we see her, I only want to see her and see her being accountable to the shitty person that she has become, because we were told that that's not something that she wanted to be, and meanwhile she's that, and she doesn't see it. She's completely blind to it. Like, I really struggle with the various moments of her being high and mighty. Like, her with the whole JJ thing and the drinking, she's the worst person. It's the worst thing for her to do, because you are like one stiff smell of a drink from falling your ass off the wagon as well. So you cannot look down upon anybody. Like, there has to be a humbling of the Olivia character, and a humbling of her. Specifically, I just want her to be held accountable and not stop being rewarded for a bunch of random shit. Honestly. Even in episode 16, she's deciding to give up the pseudonym, and they're pinning it on, well, this is the last thing me and my dad did together. And it was raggedy then. It's still raggedy after he died. And it leans into what I knew from the jump. You didn't care about this particular story the same way you didn't care about how it affected your brother and your boyfriend. You cared about the notoriety. You cared about the attention that you were getting. That's what y'all need to focus on with her story. Why does she need so much attention? Why does she need outside of validation? Why does she have certain toxic behaviors that throw her into a spiral of upending her whole entire life when she's no longer the center of attention? Why does she only want Spencer back when she realizes that she's no longer the center of this man's universe? And are you okay with that? I need her to decide that she don't want to be okay with that anymore, and then see the journey of like unpacking and fixing that. Olivia, if they don't give me Olivia's journey to be an unnarcissist, I don't want to see it. I don't care, because that's not what y'all presented us with. Okay, so we're centering Spencer, we're decentering Olivia. Jordan and Layla can stay together. However, I need Jordan to go on a journey of self-discovery that is not propped up by another person. So they can stay together, but they need distance. I need Layla to go into hyper-focus mode, and she wants to be the big-ass boss label girl. That needs to look like traveling. That needs to look like more artists. That needs to look like her getting busy. Maybe her and Jordan have issues behind it because they always want to bump uglies with each other and be there to kiss each other. Yada, yada. Cool. Now what? She's busy. You need to focus. You're prepping to go to the NFL. You're now the QB1 on a collegiate team when you are literally a damn walk-on. You're the damn leader now. What does that look like? What is Jordan's internal conversations? What does his imposter syndrome look like? What does the doubt look like? Him stop leaning on Spencer. Like, I need Jordan to be an island on his own and him figure this shit out on his own. That's it. That's all. I'm kind of over Asher. I think Asher has given all that he needed to give to the series. I don't give a damn about him having a baby in college. I think it's wild. I know it happens, but I think it's wild. I could see Asher fade to black. I like where they're going with JJ, but now they're about to usher his ass off so he can go deal with everything on his own. It's wild because JJ is getting the storyline that Jordan should have definitely got. Not that I think that Jordan should be a drunk, but JJ deciding that he's going to take a step back and pull away from everything so that he can unpack his shit is something that Jordan has needed to do for quite a while. And like, I want to see it, JJ. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see how it hurts you to not party and how you stand at the top of the bleachers looking at practices because you just miss it so damn much. I want to see what the girls look like that you start to date because you're trying to reject your past and now you done found a nerdy ass girlfriend to be with. Like, that's brilliant. I don't have a succinct answer, but those things I think would be really great for All American, and that would help it get back on track. I think in centering Spencer, and let me try to be a little bit more specific. This is on the fly, so I haven't thought about this prior to this, y'all. But in centering Spencer, I don't actually want to see. I don't want to see Spencer's relationships, romantic ones. Honestly, I don't care. And I actually like Alicia. And rewatching, I'm starting to like Alicia more, because I didn't really give a shit about her before. I was just kind of like, all right, whatever. But I'm tired of seeing Spencer put so young into romance. I want to see him in class. I want to see him cultivate other friendships. I want to see the journey to the NFL from college. That's it. For a while. You can smash whoever the hell you like here and there to get that off, but that's what I want to see. Yeah, I think that would help put All-American back on track. And for the final season, when he's actually making it, actually, I can't even tell you. I would have to sit and think about that. Who I would want to end up with who and yada, yada, yada. I would have to sit with that. But that's like what will put it back on track. Homecoming. We didn't derail so fast. I don't know if I can fix it. I don't want Simone to choose Damon. But I also think that Lando don't deserve Simone or what she has, the message she's created. For me, it would look like Simone not getting this skate right through and everything that she wants. I just feel like it's just so unrealistic. And she needs to struggle. I think that Thea needs to stake her ass there. I need Thea to go back to being a rival on the court for her, to push her, because Simone is not the best tennis player. Why we ended the season with her being positioned like that is wild to me. She was always number 6 at best, but now they treat her like she's number 1. Makes no sense to me. I think her being confronted with being selfish in certain ways and needing so much validation, I think that her sorority sisters will be a wonderful group of people to use as a plot device to throw in her face how much she needs so much validation. I think it will be an interesting conversation in that there's a certain level of groupthink that comes with like sorority and fraternity stuff. But like to have a couple of her line sisters call out like, girl, you a little bit too needy in this way. Like you need to be able to make this decision on your own, or you need to not need me to validate you. And I don't know what that would look like in reference to circumstances, but I would love that. Because it's one thing to be a sisterhood, cool, but you still need to be able to stand on your own too. And I feel like they presented that at the start of Homecoming, but then they kept now giving Simone the things that she wanted ultimately without her actually learning any lessons around it. And I still feel like she needed people too much. We all need people in community, but like she just wanted everybody to like her, and that's not real life. You're a black woman. A lot of people we move through this life, and a lot of people don't like us just cause. It's not even valid, but they don't like us. And her deep desire and need to be liked and never have that conflict of like, I need to like myself first, is a problem. Simone will also, I would like to see less of her relationships and more of her in school, because I don't even know where she's at with grade point average. I have no idea. They are at school, which is better than what All-American is doing, but I don't know what's happening in the classes, and I want to know. Damon, like for him to be such a complex character and be balancing his feelings about his real dad, his adoptive dad, his mama, her feelings, JR, the baseball team, his arrogance, but then his desire to be in community, all of that was being juggled beautifully. And like we were seeing these great character thoughts and internal dialogues and all of that to like get to the end of the season. The only thing that matters is Simone Hicks. I'm like, what? No. So they're gonna have to backtrack that. Honestly, they need to backtrack it. Like Damon needs to give a shit about other things besides Simone, because it's stupid to me. And to me, that just looks like him going back and us actually getting to see him unpack his grief around his daddy dying. Him unpack and not just accept and now all of a sudden go for his biological daddy. I need him to still have issues with that man. Y'all done had 18, 19 years to build up this, well, not build up this smoke, but like, it should be 18, 19 years of smoke, because this was a lie up until like a year ago. And this man, like, it's a part of this lie. He still need to have more smoke for him. 3 months is not enough. 3 months of not showing up to the diner is not enough. It's not. JR, I think, has done a great job of excuse me, y'all. Sorry, I have a lot of phlegm. JR has done a great job of stepping up and like becoming a leader that y'all have all wanted him to be. And y'all was so pissed at me because I was like, no, he's not a leader. Towards the end of the season, he's a leader. I think I still want to see more of like the battle between JR and Damon. And they can figure out what that looks like as brothers. If we're picking up from where we are, I feel like maybe Damon need a whole phase. I don't know with Homecoming because there's still so many things that they could have like unpacked, like him and Thea finding out about Simone. I don't think that we're gonna get that, which is a very big missed opportunity. Homecoming, I'll have to think a lot more. More Nate. Honestly. Maybe Nate can save the show. Nate and Cam. Do you think that season 6 will be the last season of All American? Possibly, but not because of the show. I feel like because of the CW and what Warner Brothers got going on. But I don't think it's because of the show that they would stop. We need a Baker twin reality check. They can't keep it real with each other because they don't keep it real with themselves. Erica, do you know if P-Valley coming back? Yes, P-Valley's coming back, but they don't start filming until summer. So season 3 doesn't start production until this summer, which means we won't get it until next year. Do you think that Effie will turn out to be the girl in the picture of Noma's daughter? I thought that at first, but I don't think so. I think it might actually be Kiki. Do you think it was a good idea to give Simone a spinoff? Yes, 100%, Taylor. I think it was a wonderful idea to give Simone a spinoff. Because season 1 was fire. Honestly, season 1 and half of season 2 was fire. It was brilliance. Jordan never dealt with his breakup, which irks my nerves because that's not reality, period. Hydro says, Jordala is my favorite couple because we still see the growth in individuals. How? They encourage each other to trust their own judgment. I haven't seen Jordan grow with Layla. He's the same man that he was with Simone. So, and I haven't seen Layla grow with Jordan. She's been this caring. She's been this supportive. She's the same girlfriend that she was when she was with Spencer. His feelings for Layla are deflections from Simone. When he told Layla he loves her, I was like, Candy. The lies, the lies, the lies. The only one who goes to school in AA is Coop. Coop is serious about that law degree, babe. And I'm like, that's cool. You could be a lawyer, but you need to be a rapping one. I like seeing Coop doing her law thing on her own, following the rules, but implementing her own personality the way that she speaks because of where she's from. Yeah, I like that. How do we feel about Ash's baby daddy plot? I don't feel anything. I don't care. It's so random to me and I don't want it. And I also don't care about Jamie as a character. Like, I think that they introduced that as if, oh, they made Jamie a part of the Vortex, so now the audience looks at her as one of them. She's not. So I personally don't care. Thanks for having a live. Thank you, Daria. I'm about to actually hop off of here too. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comment section down below, y'all. I got to go back to creating content for y'all. That has been what has been up. I hope you enjoyed the update. I appreciate and love you all for the support and for chatting with me. Y'all are literally the best. I appreciate you to the moon and back. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Okay.